future of Wonder Woman looks bright, but which future will it be? We're looking at plans for the sequel on today's Nerdist News. From tanks to turrets to Thulises, Wonder Woman smashed a lot of stuff at the movies this weekend, but perhaps most impressive were some box office records. The Patty Jenkins-helmed blockbuster now holds the title of Best Opening Ever for a female director, and with a $100 million haul, Wonder Woman also stands as one of the biggest freshman solo outings for any superhero, surpassing many of her male counterparts for films including Cap, Thor, and Iron Man. But now that history has been made, it's time to look to the future. Of course, we know that Diana's adventures in the world of men, both Super and Bat, will continue when Justice League hits theaters this November, but where will she go after that? What do DC and Jenkins have in store for Wonder Woman 2? The answer isn't entirely clear. Unlike most comic book tentpoles in recent memory, Wonder Woman chose to tell a pretty self-contained story. No overt foreshadowing to future adventures, no cameos from characters jonesing for their own spin-off, not even a single damn post-credit scene. And honestly, we appreciated that. It was oh, that was me. Oh. Not even a single damn post-credit scene, and honestly, we appreciated that. It was nice to go see a superhero story for once that didn't feel like an ad for the next 15 films in the franchise. But the obvious downside that comes with that sense of closure is that there's no obvious path to follow after this. And while ideas for a sequel have been percolating amongst Wonder Woman's creative team, with both Jenkins and Gal Gadot signed on for at least one more film, there doesn't really seem to be a concrete idea of what it might be about. Jenkins has hinted at her plans for a follow-up in several interviews, but a lot of her quotes seem to conflict with one another. While talking with Fandango, the director said, "In Wonder Woman's next movie, fans will see how she ended up in America, where she will eventually join the Justice League," suggesting that the sequel will be set sometime between the events of the first film and when she finally turns up stateside to hack some LexCorp internal servers and BVS. But then in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, she claimed the sequel would be a contemporary set, which she then elaborated on later in an Entertainment Weekly interview where she added that it will take place in the US, which I think is right. She's Wonder Woman. She's got to come to America. It's time. Now, that should appease the folks over at Fox News who whined about Wonder Woman not being American enough due to her lack of star-spangled underpants. I mean, for real. But for everyone else that's not a jackass, it only makes the timeline a lot more complicated. After all we really know about Diana after the events of Wonder Woman is that she got a job in Paris at the Louvre, and while we're sure her gig as the world's most gorgeous 100-year-old plus art historian brought her to America a few times on business, we doubt that the sequel will have a lot to do with her appraising famous paintings. And to make matters even more confusing, in another interview with Uproxx, when asked if the film would be set present day or prior, Jenkins responded, "I'm definitely planning something more interesting using that period of time. I can't say what it is, but it's definitely right in the pocket of what you're talking about." So what the heck, Patty? At this point, it seems like you've claimed that Wonder Woman 2 will be taking place in every time period between 1910 and whenever Batman Beyond happens. Have you made up your mind yet? Well, the truth is, she probably hasn't. Technically, Wonder Woman hasn't even been guaranteed a sequel yet, although we're pretty sure that will change soon in the wake of its success, so up until now, there probably wasn't any huge pressure to solidify what a sequel might be. And like any character with nearly a century of great stories built up, Wonder Woman gives Jenkins a ton of options to play with. If she bounces around from story to story before settling on one, that only makes sense, but regardless of what she chooses, we'll be excited to see it. The collaboration between Gadot and Jenkins is so remarkable that we're confident they could make the character work in any story or setting. That having been said, a story that spans a big chunk of Diana's life amongst the mortals could be super satisfying. Gail Simone's The Circle could offer some excellent inspiration, not just because it covers so much of her history, but because it ends with the rest of the Justice League throwing her a birthday party. And if we want to get some more levity in the DCEU, Batman in a party hat seems like another good step. But what about you? What would you like to see in Wonder Woman 2? And are there any other classic Wonder Woman stories you'd like to see adapted? Let's discuss. Be sure to tune in every day to Nerdist News Talks Back. It's our live daily show where we break down all of the latest in the world of pop culture. Check it out Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. PST on YouTube and Alpha.